distinguished representative of Earthworks. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished delegates, and fellow observers. I give this intervention on behalf of Earthworks. As one of the only youth and the sole representative from Peru, I want to thank Jamaica for its hospitality and the Secretariat for the updates and efforts in the inclusion of science and knowledge through the action plan of marine scientific research. We join other delegations in thanking the Secretary General and Secretariat for this report. We'll focus on paragraph 35 of the ISBA 27/A/4. Today, we know more about the ocean than ever before, but the data and science are still unclear in many aspects. For example, there's advancing science directly in the areas, but there's little to no science concerning connectivity. The deep sea ecosystems are not isolated. The ocean is a fluid medium like the atmosphere. What happens in the middle of the Pacific will affect the ecological processes, not only in the deep sea. There is a risk that it will impact upwelling systems like the ones in Peru, within the borders of the Pacific, where our fisheries, local communities, and national biodiversity thrive. There is much we still don't know, but also what worries us now is not only the science we're receiving or lacking, but how we're using the science we're receiving currently and how we're politicizing it and partializing it for a very pro-moving forward stance. So I want to ask, even if the science showed in clear, bold letters the environmental domino effect deep seabed mining will have in the ocean, the climate, and food security, is there even a system where we could postpone or cancel future seabed mining operations? Is there even a legal route or a procedure where the delegations could propose to defer the regulations or implement a moratorium? Or is the ISA built in a way that despite anything and everything, it will get what the contractors and sponsoring nations want, despite not benefits, but the drawbacks to humanity? I might be the youngest person attending today, and I've come with an open mind and open heart to comprehend every organization and member state position. We feel that a general perception of the ISA is that they're more worried about the legacy it will leave its contractors and friends rather than the legacy it will leave youth in this planet. So we kindly ask not to only be included in the e-learning platform of the deep dive, like paragraph 35 says. We ask to be included in a global youth consultation process. During this climate emergency and in a context where our atmosphere cannot sustain 1 more ton of CO2 emitted, the risk to our future is high. We also embrace the inclusion to more consultation and more time for debate like the one proposed by Chile. And I finish by asking fellow delegates to see things from a different perspective. First, to understand that knowledge and science do not guarantee sustainability. 1,000 years ago, we had the most amount of science and we had the least amount of science and expertise, and we had the most amount of ocean sustainable extractive activities, some of which we can't still replicate today. Criteria and decisions based on science guarantee sustainability. The decisions and outcomes should be made after data and science, not predetermined since 1994. Second, the deep sea doesn't have borders. They don't belong to a single country. They are ours as a whole. So I beg you, delegates, don't only look to your embassies, ministers, or capitals. Look at the youth of the world, because we're in a very difficult position. We're already and will continue to get hit with the most damaging effects of the environmental crisis. So we're here because we know that our future and our maximum quality of life does not depend on these minerals being extracted from the deep sea, but on the contrary, it may rely on leaving those minerals alone. We have over 75,000 people that agree with us from all over the world who have signed a petition for a moratorium in the last week alone for more time for science, debate, and consultation. I know to delay or abandon personal expectations on mining will be challenging, I know that your countries have worked tirelessly for these regulations to occur, but let me beg you, may we rest, may we go dance, may we go swim and laugh and play before we spoil this earth. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of Earthworks for his statement, and we will now finish off with two